Injuries happen to all of us, and every now and then an injury requires the use of prescribed opioids. We use opioids to help ease pain and recover. Opioids are safe if used properly, but unfortunately these powerful drugs are getting into the hands of our teenagers. Did you know that 1 in 4 teens have used prescription drugs to get high or to change their mood? In fact, 3/4 of heroin users started with prescription pain pills. Users make the switch because heroin is cheaper. And now, opioids and heroin are taking St. Charles County by storm, claiming the lives of teenagers and adults.
With the amount of overdoses that we've run last year and this year, we have an average of at least one overdose every day in this county.
We see all sorts of different criminal activity that revolves around someone's substance abuse addiction. And that's why we like to drive home the point that it's not just the problem of the person who uses or abuses the opiates, but it's a community problem.
To combat the problem of heroin and opioids, the Office of St. Charles County Prosecuting Attorney Tim Lohmar established C.R.U.S.H, which stands for Community Resources United to Stop Heroin. The initiative involves schools, law enforcement, treatment providers, and community leaders. C.R.U.S.H plans and implements events and programs that target education and prevention of substance abuse in the community. And recently, the Fort Zumwalt School District hosted a community awareness night at the Fort Zumwalt East High School Auditorium to educate parents and residents about the heroin and opioid prescription crisis in St. Charles County.
The best thing we can do is educate and make our community aware. So tonight's just all about giving them some facts, giving them some data, details, show them the dirty side of what heroin and opioid addiction is really like, and hopefully they can take that back to their circles of influence and spread the word.
You know, you've heard words in regards to the heroin epidemic and prescription painkillers. You hear the words epidemic, and you know when you're hitting that kind of a label to just what the reach is, I think that the only way to really tackle that is through a community effort.
Awareness Night featured breakout discussions with presenters from the DEA, St. Charles County Prosecutor Tim Lohmar, and other local agencies.
So there's been a lot of good information provided for the community. It's very important to get that information out. I think it's come a long way as far as the community understanding kind of the depth and the seriousness of the addiction. It's just a great opportunity for people to get access to that information, and to me that's the most powerful thing, is seeing everyone coming out and seeing that many people gathered together all for one mission to kind of spread the information.
I think it's important that we have this awareness tonight because a lot of adults in St. Charles don't think it's a problem out in the suburbs because we live in a nicer area, but a lot of the kids here will go down to the city and get drugs, and then they will bring them back and sell them to kids around here. So it's just spreading from the city to the suburbs.
The goal of Community Awareness Night was to get residents of the county talking about the heroin and opioid epidemic.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as parents to talk to our kids and to talk openly and honestly, not in an effort necessarily to scare, but to simply advise. We talk to them about drinking and driving, etc. We need to talk about the prescription medications that might be in the house and how they were prescribed for mom or dad, and they aren't intended to be abused.
This is the next big step, and we're doing other things like this where we spread the word to the community, and the first step in prevention is education, and that's where we are.
Finally, if you would like more information on C.R.U.S.H, you can visit sccmo.org/C.R.U.S.H.